The Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro true wireless earbuds have now been with us for a few weeks, and as the holiday season approaches, the gifting season is upon us. You might be thinking whether this should be your next purchase, and you must have a lot of questions. Well, I'm glad you're here, because I have all the answers. What's up, everybody? This is David M., the Polish Potato. Of course, you may be watching this video outside the holiday season, but that doesn't mean you're still not wondering whether these earbuds are for you. And there's been a lot of talk about them already. You might have seen some other reviews, but you may still have some unanswered questions. So I'm really glad you found this video, because my goal is to answer all of them for you. I start with sound quality as I always do. And my opinion is these sound good. Soundcore has their traditional sound signature that it's sticking to, with boosted lows and boosted highs, lowered mids. They're pretty detailed. They have decent sound staging, but they are also addressed to the mass consumer. So Soundcore has to have that in mind, that this sound signature has to be accepted widely by a lot of people, because their customer base is very broad. And I think that's where the tuning comes from. So it's definitely consumer-oriented tuning. They're not really trying to hit audiophiles. But having said that, this is definitely the higher end of that spectrum. Again, these sound absolutely up there. They're not the best, absolute best sounding earbuds on the market, in my humble opinion. But you won't be disappointed. If you're wondering whether they are worth their price, they absolutely are. As far as sound quality goes, and that is your main driver for purchasing them, sound is what you care about the most, I absolutely wouldn't hesitate spending the money that is being asked for this set. Now, when it comes to ergonomics, I'm going to be expressing my strong opinions, and I try to be unbiased, but I can't review them in any different way than looking at the previous release in that series, which is the Liberty 3 Pro. So I'm going to talk about the ergonomics of these for just a second. I already said it in my short, and I know many of you will agree with me on this subject, but there's probably going to be just as many people who will disagree, because that's the nature of posting opinions online these days. I'm fine with it. This channel is all about discussing things with you guys. I actually love getting feedback from you, and I love when you get involved and comment. As long as we stay civil and express our opinions without offending anybody, we're good to go. So these are the Liberty 3 Pro. In my opinion, these ergonomics were absolutely 100% brilliant. This was fantastic design. The silicone ring that used to be specific to Bose only, Soundcore successfully adapted into their product, and it was working miraculously. It was keeping them in my ears so well. They were very unique with that. There was almost nothing else that would match these ergonomics. And I wish Soundcore continued and maybe improved this design a little bit with the Liberty 4 Pro, but they went totally different route and made these just the same as their other releases, like, for example, the Liberty 4 NC. So this is the very old, very well-known design, and it doesn't mean it's bad. I just wish that they stayed with this unique approach that Liberty 3 Pro had, because it was something special. So having said all that, I do find these ergonomics to be working very well. There are a lot of STEM earbuds on the market, and not all of them are well profiled. These are fantastic. They sit in my ears like they belong. Once you insert them into your ears properly and create a good seal and lodge them in place, there's absolutely no need to adjust. They sit there without ever falling out, without ever causing any problems. And they are also pretty lightweight, so they don't create any fatigue. I find their shape to be actually very well adjusted to the shape of my ears. So there's a little bit of magic that Soundcore poured into this design. And as far as STEM earbuds go, these are definitely worth the price again for me. Now, the aesthetics are going to be another area that will refer back to the Liberty 3 Pro, because just as much as the ergonomics were special, The aesthetics were fantastic. This was just a beautiful design. I mean, you can't deny it. Everything here worked so well. They were standing out from the competition. There was literally nothing like these out there. And that's the goal of designers, to make your product absolutely one of the kind. So why would you drop that for these looks that basically couldn't be more common? I don't understand this decision. If I was responsible for product development at Soundcore, I would have a lot to say about this. But of course, I am not. I'm just a reviewer. And again, you can disagree with me. Let's talk about it. I will always take the position of absolute winner and just very, very average. Next, let's tackle the technology and figure out what's sitting inside these earbuds that's responsible for these sweet sounds pouring into our ears. These feature the enhanced ACAA acoustic architecture, a 10.5 millimeter bass driver, a titanium coated tweeter, and a digital crossover for peak driver performance. Indulge in crisp, full-bodied sound perfected with nuances. As I said before, they're definitely way up there with sound. We also have 360 degrees spatial audio here. Those features were included in previous Soundcore releases. For those who like, they absolutely work well. We have IPX5 rating for those of you who wonder if they can walk through the rain or jump into a swimming pool with them. So don't jump in the swimming pool. That's what I mean. They're only splash resistant, splash proof. You can't submerge them in the water and expect them to survive. They won't. They do come with Bluetooth 5.3 for multi-point connection, and I do admit I have tested this. Switching from device to device in terms of playback has been the most seamless experience I have ever had with earbuds yet. Basically, all you do is you press play on the other device. It automatically stops the playback on the previous one, and just you have immediate connection and sound from the other device. So this I have not experienced before to that extent, for this process to be this seamless and fast. The ANC uses 7 noise-canceling sensors that are reacting every 0.3 seconds to the ever-changing environment around you, trying to smooth out your experience and keep you in your own zone so you don't have to be bothered or even think about how loud it is around you. So let's test that out. I'm going to use my dogs because they bark very loud. They are the ultimate test for ANC in earbuds. And I'm going to put these up against the best noise cancelling I have yet heard this season and maybe ever, which is the new Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds that I reviewed just recently. Trust me, not an easy opponent to beat. So let's see who wins this battle. In case you're wondering, this is what the action looks and sounds like. I lowered the volume on this a little bit, not to overwhelm you guys and not to get anyone mad. Before I get to the next step, I have to explain something. So if I understand this correctly, when connecting to the phone and recording on the phone, you are recreating the conditions of an actual phone call. What that means is ENC comes into play. And the recording I'm going to show you right now is the ENC kicking in. And it does seem like it's not doing a very good job on the Soundcore. I don't really know why. I feel like I might have screwed something up, but I tried this several times, actually many times since yesterday, and the results were always the same, no matter what settings I try to change on the earbuds. And the difference is pretty strong between Soundcore and Bose. So here we go. This is what Bose recorded. So if my method is not correct, how come Bose recorded something that does sound like it's really doing a lot of ANC. Obviously, there's something wrong with this process. And you guys can tell me what you think. It's most likely user error. I'm doing something wrong. But to illustrate what the user is actually hearing, because you have what's coming through the earbuds, right? But then the seal is never going to be 100%. You're never going to hear nothing of your surrounding environment. It's virtually impossible. If it was possible, if you were sealed 100% and the sounds were coming only through what the earbuds put into your ear, Bose is pretty accurate representation of the noise canceling happening. But the Soundcore, the sample I showed you, doesn't feel like what the user is actually hearing when using the earbuds. I hope this makes sense. So basically what you're hearing is what's coming through the earbud with the noise cancellation, but also some sounds, especially loud sounds like those barking dogs, are seeping through no matter what the seal in your ear the earbuds have created. I hope you guys understand what I mean. If you don't, hit me in comments and I'll keep explaining until we are all on the same page. But I hope this makes sense. So to show you the more accurate reflection of what the user is actually experiencing, it would more or less sound like this. Now, the way I understand it, ENC and ANC are not the same thing at all, and you will see later in this review that during the actual conversation, when the microphones are expecting and the algorithm is expecting your voice, Soundcore does really well. So maybe the barking dog's frequency is simply not something that ENC processes well on these earbuds. Other than that, I don't really understand why they would be that far off. The conclusion is that Bose is still better. Bose is still the king of ANC. They're not as far off as those first two videos were showing in reality, in what you're actually hearing when you're using them, but Bose is noticeably better in my opinion. Now we have to talk about controls, and that's another huge subject with these earbuds. And I have to admit something again. First, when I started posting my shorts, which is where all these comments on the screen are coming from that you're seeing throughout this video, I was like, controls in the case, nobody's really going to use it. Everybody's walking around all day long with the smartphone in their hand, so we're using the app for controls. But you guys brought up some important points, and I am nothing if I'm not flexible, so I'm changing my initial opinion about this, and now I think that these controls on the case are actually very usable, because in several cases that you brought up, like for example, you have a device that you paired it with that is away from you, and it doesn't have the app. Controls in the case come very useful. You have a device that you can't install the app on, like, for example, a work device or a school device. Controls in the in the case, become very useful. They basically allow you to change different settings, like ANC and transparency, for example, and they also come with a camera remote.
Okay, I'm filming.
So I just recorded my review of the new Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds, in which I was saying that I think the camera control is very useful, the remote shutter release. Now this makes it even better because you can just do it from the case. One more thing that absolutely has to be mentioned that actually makes these earbuds very unique is that they have both touch and click controls. The way this works in particular is basically this part right here is the one that accepts the clicks. So basically when these earbuds are in your ear, you squeeze. For example, one click will stop and restart your music. 2 clicks will go to the next song, and so on and so forth. You can program all these clicks, but also you can just swipe your finger up because this is also the touch-sensitive part. So swiping it up raises the volume, while swiping down lowers the volume. And both earbuds react in the same exact way. This is great because with that functionality, you can control all the functions by using just a single earbud. So, of course, they can be used separately. You don't have to have both out of the box, both in your ears. You can use just one, and that gives you all the controls available. How great is that? Another thing that I absolutely love and appreciate is that the case displays the charge level, and you can see it through the cover even when it is closed. This also may be a reason why this case, since we're talking about this, I'm going to talk about the case right now. The case does feel a little flimsy and cheap, and I guess this is the compromise you make. You have this transparent cover, so obviously it can't be very solid, super thick, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to make it transparent maybe. Or it could maybe be transparent just in this area where the charge level is displayed, and the rest could feel more solid. But anyway, the case isn't the case isn't as good as Liberty 3 Pro. This case felt so perfect, so solid, so nicely done, so well thought. This is of course well thought with the transparent display of the charge level, but it doesn't feel as good as the previous one. It is now time to discuss the app support, and that is another area where Soundcore is absolutely killing it. This is so rich, featured. It might be the best app out there. Look at that. First of all, you have the charge level of both earbuds displayed and the charge level of the case. I'm running low on that. I need to recharge. And then this is the ambient and ANC adjustment meter setting that I was mentioning before, that you can also do from the case. If you go to level 1, that means full transparency, and then you see you have those few levels in between. When you get to past 5, you're in the middle. That means off or normal. And then you're going towards ANC, increasingly up to 10. 10 means full ANC, so you're separated from the environment as much as you possibly can. Right below it, you can turn on the airplane mode, which means, and this is special again, what a cool feature, the earbuds will try to determine the barometric pressure around you. So it will actually depend on what the air pressure around you is. And we know that changes a lot when you are doing air travel, where you're up in the air in an airplane. And that can affect the way ANC works. So it meters that, and it applies adjustments based on the air pressure around you to increase the level of ANC and, of course, give you better experience. You can also turn the wind noise reduction on. In my test that you are about to see, I did not even have that on. The second screen starts with the Hear ID sound test that helps personalize the earbuds to your particular hearing. Then you have spatial audio, and then you have a preference test, which in turns asks you what musical preference you have in terms of frequency response. So that is further customization. So these are extremely customizable. Then you are moving to the sound profiles. Of course, there are a lot to choose from. Check this out. Wow, this is impressive. And you can absolutely do your own custom settings, custom equalizer. These are my favorite. If you're curious to try them out, I think these turn them into really good sounding earbuds. And then, of course, we're moving on to customizing the controls. So everything about these earbuds is so customizable. This might be the best app out there. Soundcore, I hand it to you. You are absolutely winning the game when it comes to app support. And now I know you're at this point when you're going to ask, is the real life circumstances test for the microphones coming today? Of course it is, guys. Again, I'm going to refer to Soundcore's website. Even in bustling trains, your voice stands out in calls with noise muted thanks to our 6 microphones and AI noise reduction. So you have 3 microphones per earbud that will try to separate your noise from any environment you're in for clear phone calls. Let's get out there and test it.
Welcome, guys, to David M's ultimate real-life test for microphones quality in earbuds. We always start in an idling car on the side of the road so that it's very easy for these earbuds to pick up my voice because there isn't much noise pollution going on around me yet. There's an occasional passing car, like right now, but other than that, it's pretty quiet here. But then we are cracking the window, we're throwing the car in the first gear, we're turning the air on, this way introducing a lot of additional noise, like the road noise, like the engine noise, and most of all, a lot of wind noise coming through right here, so that it becomes way more difficult for the microphones in these earbuds and the algorithm inside them to figure out what to do with my voice and how to reject all the noise. This way, we are staying consistent because I always perform this test in the same way. Soundcore did very well in the past with their previous products. Right now, I'm exactly at 50 miles an hour, and you guys can go to my previous videos and see how the Liberty 3 did. We had Liberty 3 Pro many times on this channel. Is Liberty 4 Pro going to stand up to the task? Are they going to perform better? Are they going to be the same? Or maybe they're going to be worse? You be the judge. You tell me what you think. I'm going to pull over and switch to a very tough competitor.
All right, guys, here's the moment of truth. Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro are going against, right now in my ears, Soundpeats Capsule 3 Pro Plus. So far, the king of microphones in earbuds. So far, these are the earbuds that have been doing the best in this particular test that I have done so many times. I'm just waiting for the traffic to pass so I can take off. This should be the last car right now. Let's see how exactly the comparison comes out and if Soundpeats can hold their throne, or is the Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro going to be our new benchmark? Are they going to be the best, the ones that we're going to be comparing everything else against right now? I am at exactly 50 miles per hour right now. There's a lot of wind coming in through the cabin, and you guys can go back and forth between these two samples and judge for yourself which one is better. I'm dying to hear your comments, and I have one more pair of earbuds for you today that may surprise you.
And here we go. This is the competitor number 3 for today. Those are the earbuds that I have not tested yet in this particular environment, in this particular test that I always do in the same way. Those are the KZ Carol. And before we begin, let's go over pricing. These are $36, $32. I actually forgot. I know they are in the $30 range. Soundpeats Capsule 3 Pro are in the $50 range with coupons, in $80 range if you're just buying them right off Amazon without trying to finagle anything. And the Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro are in $120, $130 range. So can these cheapo earbuds possibly compete in this test and deliver performance we're looking for? Actually, I'm hearing weird noises, which I believe are caused by wind right now in my ears. I wonder if they will translate into the recording, and my guess is they will. So maybe you can't rely on $30 equipment when you're putting it up against $130 equipment, but we're about to find out.
Back in the studio again, how about that test? You guys tell me what you're hearing. Do we have the new king of microphones quality, or do you think Soundpeats Capsule 3 Pro Plus are still the ones? You tell me. I'm dying to hear your comments about this because this is very interesting. If you agree with me, because I am thinking that these now take the lead. If you agree with me, then I'm going to be using these in all my future tests as the benchmark that any future earbuds will try to beat when it comes to microphones quality. And with that, I think we have arrived to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope it gave you enough information to make an educated decision if you are considering purchasing the Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro. And if you are considering that, please use the link posted in the description to help the channel a tiny little bit and help me moving forward.